So here's the overview for one of Northwood's outcomes, which is to create a business report with a cover memo and it's kind of a hybrid because it also is like an academic paper with references. So, and we're using APA style for this whole thing. Here's the overview of the whole project, which is a 3 to 5 page report on a company for which you may want to work one day, or if for those entrepreneurs out there, a business that you might like to have. The requirements are to have one web and one database source, and you will be receiving instructions on how to get in the database easily and get out with what you need. You'll also include a graphic, which could include a table or map or various kinds of pictures. And ultimately, the purpose of this paper is to evaluate whichever company you choose in terms of whether it's a good match for you and your goals. So when you present your data, you will be, at the end of each of those paragraphs, explaining if this was a pro or con for you, if it was a major factor in your decision, and then when you get to your conclusion, it all makes sense why you said it was a good company or a bad company for you. So we're going to break it. We're not going to leave it all as one big project. We're going to break it down into 4 steps, and you'll get a separate grade just for these 4 steps. So each step will get a grade, and altogether they will total 10% of your overall grade. The first step happens in week 1, and for week 1, that's what the rest of this is how to complete your first step. First, you have to select a company, or if you're an entrepreneur, you may choose to find a good business model for what you're attempting to do. You may also select your current company if your goal is merely to stay with this company but move up, in which case you will focus more on the positions offered that you would be able to achieve once you have your degree. So, for step 1, all you're doing is creating a title page and setting up your major section headings. But because we're using APA style, the formatting is important. You also have to set up your purpose and scope, which will be basically a list of questions. Just the questions, not the answers. Just the questions this week. You have 4 that are mandatory, and then you have 3 that you must create on your own of what you would like to know. So for your ease, I've created a sample of this week's assignment, which is just on the left-hand side here. This is standard APA cover the title page, and over here is your how you would go about your introduction, kind of stating where you are in your career or in your studies and why you chose the particular company you chose. It also includes what you will be focused on. It specifically positions you think you're interested in. Then you have background information in bold, upper and lowercase, left align, and you have purpose and scope. Your major headings will be introduction, findings, and conclusions. That's true for everybody. That is a business report style, and it will be all caps and centered. Then you will list your questions, making sure you insert your actual company name, and whether it's countries, like GM, is a global country, so it would be a global company, so it'll be countries. But if you're looking at something more local, you might say states, or if even more local, cities or counties. So you will decide how to change these to accommodate your particular subject. For those who are entrepreneurs and wanting to start their own business, your setup will be a little different and your questions will be different, because what's key to that is, where did they get their capital? How did they get started, right? You can learn so much in a business school about general business, but what you want to know is, how do you go about actually getting started with this particular kind of business? Good luck with this.